Hundreds, if not thousands. Oh no, where's my camera at? Oh, my camera's not here. Hang on, I gotta turn my camera off, turn my camera back on. It's so stupid. Okay. Mic check 1, 2, 3. You can't see it? My camera's not on, Sue. My camera, Sue.
Well, I can see you. That's
I don't know. Probably because the prices went up. There's probably a settings change on my thing. Anyways, we're here. All
Let
right.
me get you on here.
Yeah, well, I'm on the Zoom meeting. Let me just see if my camera...
Yeah, your face is not on here. You're right.
That is so weird. I don't know. But I'm in the Zoom meeting.
I see you on there now.
I'm in the Zoom meeting. I don't know. My main camera, my camera one didn't turn on. And I went and checked, I checked the camera. Go figure. Who knows? This show's almost over anyways. Yes, we're back. Sorry. What we're doing is we're talking about, oh God. The auto transport, should I just say it?
Yes.
Auto transport shit show?
Yeah. Big pile of
Oh
poop.
my God. The super central price war.
Yep.
Plus, we're probably not even live on LinkedIn. LinkedIn hasn't been working lately either when I try to go live. Oh yeah, no, it's live. All right. Well, if you're tuned in, this is going to be quite a show. Whether you watch live or on demand, I know you're not going to like it. And I know you don't want to talk about why your car hasn't been picked up and why auto transport is a train wreck. No, there's no money in this. Nobody wants to talk about this, Sue. In fact, I decided this is the new logo for the new company that I think maybe will... There may be a new company.
Yeah.
There might be. I don't know. Who knows? There's no way of knowing what's going to happen. We're not going to do that. We are the neutral zone, and nobody cares, by the way. Okay? All right, cool. I posted this. Now, have you seen the... You know what this is?
No.
No?
See it.
So, all right. So, you can see the image. Okay, there's two images.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did you know... Okay, French president... I don't know his name either.
Macron.
Nope. Macron?
Macron.
Macron. Janice's hand. Yeah.
All right. I don't know anything about him. You know, whatever. We're American. He's French. You know, the whole thing. Anyways, the picture on the left, it was shot a few days ago, and they open. You know how they land, and there's a big ceremony. Everybody's really happy. Lots of money gets spent.
Yeah.
And they open the door. This is where Joe Biden trips on the stairs. You know. Well,
Yes.
This guy, he wishes he was tripping on the stairs. His wife pushed him in the face right after the doors opened.
Good.
That's real. This is not AI. His wife is violently pushing him in the face.
Yeah, you can see
In
that.
some situations, this could literally be considered domestic abuse.
True.
True.
Yeah.
She's not going to get charged, though. That's stupid. Anyways, I thought, well, you know, I see an analogy here. He's the carrier. She's the broker. The dealer is the guy that sees it. Nah, not saying anything. I have no idea what that was. I think she was kissing him. The guy... Look at the face. Look at the facial expression on the guy marked load board. He knows. He can hear a scuffle or something. He is ignoring it. Nope. I don't know what that is. And then the second picture is the picture of them coming down the steps. Now, right before this photo of them coming down the steps, he put his arm out for her to take it. She did not take it. Remember the Melania slap? Melania slapped away Donald's hand on one of these photo junkets. Because he's the most incredible husband ever. Anyways, LinkedIn, trade shows, press releases, and news articles will all report the picture on the right, ignoring the picture on the left. Now, why? Why, Jay? You've
Why,
got to be
Jimmy?
alone in your, you know, freaky thoughts. You know? And, well, no. It's just that you can do whatever you want. This is on a transport. You can do whatever you want, say whatever you want, throw money at propaganda, and it is the truth. This is Industry Logistics. Last week we had Cover Fleet. That was a pretty interesting show. It was a good show.
Yeah.
And if listen, if you're short on time, skip ahead to 19 minutes and get some of the, there was really great information. And if you don't have a camera on your rig, well, it's probably because you can't afford it. Show me the truck.
Oh my.
Yeah, there's this one.
Ouch.
I was thinking maybe it doesn't have any brakes.
How is this
I
still
don't know.
standing up there?
Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
This is a weird one. Here's another weird one. There is a car in the ditch.
Wow. How big of a car hauler is that? 3?
Yeah, I think so. I know. I was looking at it too. I mean, you've got, right? Well, does he have one in the belly? It might be an easy 4.
Hard to see.
I think that's in the belly.
Maybe a 4 or 5 then, something like that.
Yeah. And also, so how did this happen? You know, truck hauling cars crashes. Okay. Did he crash? I mean, what exactly? Was he going up or down the hill? He had to been coming down.
And then spun,
How would you crash if you were going up the hill?
Yeah, it would make more sense coming down.
Right?
Well, does it look like that's his truck parked to the side, on the side of the road?
Ah.
Like as a dually is what it looks like to me.
Right. Well, I was assuming dually from the get-go because I'm thinking he was coming downhill and he started to have a braking
And
issue.
spun it.
Yeah.
And I would have spun it off down into that. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's how you got the car down in the... Wow. Yeah. CSI Sue, you're hired. Hey, by the way, thanks for tuning in. We got 925 is here. John Larrick is here. Thank you, guys. Okay. Hey, I'd love to talk trailers for my first setup. So, yeah. You want to take that for a minute? Let me see if I can get this camera going.
Here's the thing. Yes, there's a 4 and a 5 car, but tell me what brand you're really interested in. That's going to be the difference. Because you have really good 4 and 5 cars out there, and then you have your typical Kaufman Appalachians, and I would not recommend anybody starting out with those unless you want it to be really hard. And on top of that, they don't last. They're going to break down all the time. Those axles are pieces of crap. I mean, I've had a lot of drivers have them, and they're cheap to get in. That's why they sell so many of them. But if you want a really good trailer and you're planning on staying in this business for any length of time, then I'd go with a better brand. And if you're going to do it, do a 5. I mean, the price difference between the two usually isn't that much difference. And at least on a 5, if you had bigger vehicles, you can usually carry 4. So keep that in mind. Because if you had a 4 and you had bigger vehicles, you're only taking 3.
And I got my camera working here. Cool.
Okay.
Robin sent that in. I think it was an email.
No.
You'll get email and YouTube comments. I think it was sent in via email. And I said, hey, tune in for the show. Ask us questions. We'll see if that happens.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm reaching out to you because I really need to know about car hauling dispatching. So I sent him to the series, told him to tune into the live show, and away we go. It's interesting how dispatching is still pretty sought after.
It is.
Why is that?
It takes more experience than just saying, hey, I've got somebody who wants me to do it. I'm training somebody right now. She'll tell you it ain't easy. So, and she did freight.
It's not easy.
That.
No, it's not easy.
No.
I always thought it was weird that there's like this faction that thinks like dispatchers need to be like deported with Tren de Aragua and all that stuff. That's weird. Man, it's. But you know what? I'm so glad that I got introduced to that weird concept because it's really helped me understand that this industry, and I'm assuming all industries and now the world in general, is just full of all these weird ideas. People carry around these just really weird ideas that separate them from others like immediately.
Yeah.
It's so strange. That's why the slogans, peace on earth and all that, I'm like, just shut up. It's not true. Okay. Hey, did you get the memo? I thought I'd start with this. This is weird.
Okay.
Anthropic's AI resorts to blackmail in simulations.
Wow.
Okay. It's 2025, and there's an AI already resorting to blackmail in a simulation. So this bodes really well.
Yeah, 'cause then what's next?
But you know what's great? You know what I like about it? It was trained by humans. That's what humans do. Peace on earth. Blackmail. In a safety test, the AI company asked Claude Opus 4 to act as an assistant to a fictional company, but then gave it access to also fictional emails saying that it would be replaced. And also the engineer behind the decision was cheating on his wife.
Wow.
Anthropic said the model threatened to reveal the affair if the replacement went ahead.
Wow.
He really is like us. Oh, that's so cool. That is what humans would do. That's the best.
Wow.
And I love that somebody thought, like, I wonder if this is as evil as we are.
Yeah.
And
It's sad,
yes,
too.
it is. It is sad. Sad but true. It's a Metallica song. It's a great song. Speaking of sad but true, Montway purchased a luxury vehicle transport brokerage. Did you know this?
No. Who?
Yeah.
Drum roll, please.
Yes.
Who did Montway purchase as a luxury vehicle transport brokerage? The answer is it's Angels Moving Autos.
Oh, really?
I know.
I don't even see them anymore.
I was thinking the same. Exactly. They were really 10 years ago. They had a lot of cars.
Yeah, they did. But I
Kinda
haven't
like-
seen them.
How about Fisher Shipping? Is Fisher Shipping still big?
Yeah, but
Okay.
you're right. I still don't see a lot of their stuff. Like, you used to see that on a regular too, and I do not. They are offering to get you insurance. You can get insurance through them though.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, what I wonder, I mean, it could be they just need they have less random loads.
Right.
I really do believe that industry-wide, there are less vehicles being moved.
Yeah.
Or there are less sub-haul cars being needed. But you know what? We should check the load board. Let's check
Yeah.
load board volume later. Not
Yeah.
yet, but
Okay.
because I'm speculating live and
I know
Everybody-
it's a lot.
loves that.
It
is a lot?
It is a lot. It's a lot more than it usually is because also
Weird.
I can always tell if there's a lot more because my cars don't move as fast as everybody else's and that kind of thing. Like stuff sits there with it normally would be picked up immediately.
How are the rates in comparison to the volume?
The rates aren't actually bad for the most
They're not
part.
bad.
Which is
Wow.
shocking. Yeah.
Well, then this headline coming up is going to love it. All right, here we go. This is so interesting, though. It just so happens. Okay, news headline. Bentley Denver dealership sued. They were sued after a fake transport company allegedly stole $200,000 Ferrari. All right, here we go. Let's try this. A luxury car dealership in the Denver metro is in a bit of legal hot water after being accused by a Minnesota dealership of failing to properly vet a fake transport company that stole a Ferrari the Minnesota dealership was trying to obtain. By the way, I just want to stop right here. Already we have, I'm not sure if the accusation, failing to properly vet a fake transport company. By the way, whose job is that? Nobody knows whose job that is.
Yeah.
Because... Nah, let's keep going.
Wow.
Bentley Denver is a car dealership in Lone Tree. They sell new and used Bentleys alongside other luxury cars like Ferraris. One of those Ferraris was sold to Twin Cities Performance in Minnesota, according to the lawsuit filed in U.S. District Court of Colorado. And let's do this here too. Let me. The gray 2023 Ferrari Roma from the Bentley dealership was sold for $200,000. The Minnesota dealership arranged for Angels Moving Autos to facilitate the transportation of the vehicle. This could have been anybody, but Angels Moving Autos specializes in. Oh, and I turned your audio off, so you can go ahead and. Angels Moving Autos specializes in high-end vehicles, which we just read from the Montway acquisition.
Yeah.
And so they were the ones hired by Minnesota dealer to move the Bentley from the Denver dealer. Everything should be cool so far. However, Twin Cities Performance said Angels contracted with a fraudulent carrier and failed to check the carrier's veracity, its insurance, or vet the carrier. Now, this is where it already gets messy.
Here's veracity.
Twin Cities accuses Angels of failing to vet the carrier. You think Angels, they've been around forever. What, they don't know how to vet carriers? How did Angels Moving Autos get tricked by this carrier? I'm going to say this is more than just a simple vetting error.
So, my question is this.
Yes.
Is Angels moving the actual transporter, or they're saying that's the broker?
That's the problem. And this again gets back in, nobody understands broker carrier.
Right.
Angels was the broker hired by Minnesota.
Okay.
To pick up the car in Denver. Angels brokers the load.
But they're suing the Denver place and not Angels?
Well, guess what?
Okay.
Where's that fraudulent carrier? Who knows?
Right, that car's gone.
You can't sue somebody you can't find. When you I can tell you this. Here's lawsuit 101. When you file a lawsuit, name everybody, their brother, and their dog. Because you need to collect money. I'm going to guess the load board was originally named in this complaint.
Oh, I'm sure.
Speculating live, I'm sure. And guess what? If you're that load board, you settle out of court. Pay them. Give them 5 figures. Go away quickly.
Says,
but I'm just guessing. I'm speculating.
A bill of lading or anything at pickup. So the
fraudulent carrier arrived in Bentley, Denver. Twin Cities said that neither Angels nor Bentley Denver checked the carrier. Again, those are accusations that are allegations.
Right. We don't know.
Nobody checked the carrier. Sure. Right. I mean, it's a $200,000 Ferrari. I think this is a hack, but who knows?
Yeah.
Mimicking a real carrier located. You see, mimicking a real. We don't even know. By the way, it was a self-managed vehicle transportation platform. Nowhere in this do we even mention the name of the platform.
Right.
I wonder why.
And this happened back last year, in November. Okay.
It's probably another one's happening right now. This is why everybody wants fraud. Everyone's talking about fraud as if it was the number one problem.
Well, I almost had it happen too.
Sure, and it's a huge problem.
Yeah.
But you know what continues to be the number one problem while fraud is the number 2 problem? Pricing.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to talk about pricing. Oh my God. He's talking about pricing again? What a loser. But it is. And then the prices keep going up. Because, well, there's no problem. Let's see here. I think this just went out. Okay, this is CD. Load board number 1. This is for shippers, which, shippers and brokers, they don't seem to worry about these prices as much. It's the carriers that really get hung up. But I think you're going to point out, actually, that's become more of a problem. Broker pricing is becoming more of an issue. We're going to talk about that. The stuff looks awesome. You know, everything's cool. You get all this stuff. Oh my God, new real time, new market intelligence. Half of it you may not use. That's okay. Whatever. It's great. Okay, carriers. See, $139.95 a month for that's a core price for a carrier. I wonder if carriers are paying that. Let's take a look. Oh, and for carriers, okay. See, carriers, I think carriers are going to be climbing up more towards $200 a month to get the things they want. But I don't know. We'll check. And hey, here's that headline I wanted to share. See, these guys said that auto transport rates jump. I've been harping on this a little bit lately. I know it's not popular. I'm not going to get invited to the trade show over this, but it's not really. This is the Central Dispatch information. If you compare these two, Sue, I want you to be objective viewer here.
Okay.
Compare this. You got auto transport rates jump. And jump doesn't mean raise. I mean, that's like when you jump, you don't just slightly step.
Right.
You jump. All right. Versus, look at this. Logistics market data from Central shows that average list prices were flat and continued an annualized decline for the 8th straight month.
So then how did they jump?
Do you think they jumped?
No. Then they've gone.
No. They didn't jump.
Where are they getting their information at then?
Right. That's what I'm wondering. I've actually seen several headlines that I thought were questionable. I don't know where they're getting their news. I'm not going to say they're not getting news from somewhere, but I don't know where they're getting their news. It didn't jump. Even Central's own data.
Saying it has gone down. Yeah.
Okay. But Jay, you're just grinding an axe in a quiet cave. All right, rates are garbage on all platforms at this point. We'll be out of business soon if these extremely low rates continue. Okay, that's just one. That's some feedback. We've been asking for feedback. We've been getting some interesting feedback. It all sucks. A few months back, I quit paying number one load board. They're grossly overpriced, and the loads are grossly underpriced. Right? It's expensive to pay monthly, and what are you sifting through?
Right.
And then he calls it out. Brokers suck.
Double or triple listings. They don't hold to them. Yeah, won't answer the phone. Only texting.
It's amazing that double and triple listings are still a thing.
Yeah.
There's no. Isn't that fraud? Isn't that on its face fraudulent?
Yeah, I mean, technically, yeah. Yeah. We're not supposed to list loads unless you have the contract.
You can't buy a product in a store and then, oh my God, the product's gone.
Yeah.
It's not a thing. Low-rated loads should draw a red flag and not be allowed. And I read this, I'm like, wow, this guy's really dreaming. Yeah, red flags for low-rated loads? Yeah, that's never going to happen. And I appreciate the feedback, but I'm just, I'm speaking as if I was in the boardroom with the shareholders that just left with another truckload of cash. So, all right, so we kind of looked at some of the Central stuff, and I kind of went through it because we're going to talk about how well is it, or how easy is it to understand these numbers. Well, I want to say this. I want to back up. If you're just joining now, thank you so much. We're halfway done. Don't worry, this show will end soon. What a bother. I had a driver contact me because he got this. Starting July 1st, importing and creating loads on the driver app will require a paid Super Dispatch subscription. Now, my understanding is if you're an owner-operator and you just want to import loads and use the BOL, it's been free. And that's changing. It is now, right, that's now changing. Importing and creating loads, everybody's now $55 a month. That's your base.
Right.
which made me beg the question. I asked this: does Central Dispatch charge money for you to use their mobile app? We don't know, do we?
I don't think they do yet. I'm pretty sure that will
Right?
happen.
Why won't? I mean, yeah, exactly.
Because why wouldn't they, right?
Oh, heck yeah.
So when you get a load now, what it says at the bottom is that if the broker requires you to use the Central Dispatch EBOL, you have to accept it as such and use it. Now, I've told several people I do not use it. Is that okay? We use the other one, and they're fine with that. But there's a button to click, and when I dispatch to somebody, it says, "Do you want them to use it? Click this button." There's no fees as of yet, but you and I both know there's going to be fees.
There is almost no way
That is
that
free.
app will remain free.
No. It's like
That
Walmart getting you hooked on something and then you have to pay for it because
totally.
you're used to using it.
In fact, you just made
The
think that.
deliveries.
You know what? Self checkout. They got to start charging for that.
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of brilliant? Self checkout fee.
Well, remember Walmart
That's
was
totally
delivered to
going to
your
happen.
house.
I never even thought of that before.
Well, like they just did it because Walmart was delivering to your house for free, if you spent a certain amount of money. Now you have to pay. It's a certain amount or you pay for a year to have it delivered to your house for free. So they got everybody hooked on it and then they sink you with the fee afterwards, like a year later.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
there is nothing free, and if you don't pay, it's like probably like a felony. So, all right, glad I got that in there. Okay, so this was on. I went to Super Dispatch website today.
Okay.
Carrier Pro, $55 per month per seat. Base.
And by per seat, I think they mean by per driver,
Per
right?
person, per driver.
Because you pay
per.
as you add drivers, you pay. Yeah.
And here's the thing, and this is another thing. While broker versus carrier gets lost in the shuffle, this is for the mobile app. Well, let's see, what do you get? Here we go. You do get access to the super load board. You get the driver app.
Mm-hmm.
I think Super Dispatch, you know what's weird? Super Dispatch continues to do it a little bit better than the other guys.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, here, let's go back to this. Okay, what am I getting? I mean, I can go through there, but when I come here,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that is a little easier to see. Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks. Yeah. Oh, that was not on purpose. But anyways, those are the things you get for $55 per month. Now you go back over to. I hate saying their name. I just hate saying it because I feel like if I say it, I gotta pay something and
Right.
get frisked. There ain't nothing for $55 per month there.
No.
Ain't nothing. No, there ain't nothing. And it's interesting too. If you look at that, this is kind of fun. I'm enjoying that. If you think about it, $55 per month. A carrier can afford that,
Yeah.
right? And
Well,
I know, and I'll just say,
Oh, you're driving now?
allegedly carriers should be able to
You want me to
afford
wait
200
until you're
bucks a
done
month,
driving?
right? Let's go
allegedly,
back
yes.
to that.
Yeah.
Right? Listen, if you're in this business and you're a professional, why can't you pay $200 per month for access to loads? But you know what? When you look at the pie of carrier expenses, holy crap.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Insurance, fuel, maintenance,
Yep.
and being a carrier too, like that, the photo of the car hanging off the front of that. Let's take a look at that again.
Hmm.
I mean, name another job where that might happen.
True. Very true.
Fuck no. There is no other job where that might happen.
Yep. Yeah.
How do you recover from this? It could take a month.
Or months. Yeah. Depends on how damaged all that stuff is.
Meanwhile, You got this thing racking up in the meter,
Yep.
and they don't know you, and whatever, man. Just pay the money. Come on. What, you can't pay for all this great new? That was stupid. All right. So you get all that stuff. Now let's go to the broker side. That's for the carrier.
All right.
Here's SD broker pricing. You're listing loads. Carriers pick up loads. Brokers list loads. So $259 a month, and you can post what? 100 VINs per month. And I think I liked how, if you, let's say you pay for the 100 VINs a month to post, and what you're on average, you're 100 VINs a month,
Yeah,
ish. Okay,
yeah.
So and if you go a little bit over, it's just $259 a VIN.
Yes.
They don't do that over the other guys,
No.
do they?
No.
Of course not.
No.
Why would you make it easy? So I think we got the other guys over here. Oh, and by the way, on top of all of it, you have the lawsuit.
Yeah.
And this is what really puts everybody up against the wall. This is why everybody's got to charge more and be on their toes, and you can't say company names, and you got to worry that you're going to get sued or attacked verbally or allegations, or you got to be really careful now. Everybody knows. I have talked to other companies. They're like, yeah, we're not going to talk about that. So the industry is on edge, bro. But hey, there's more to come. That's awesome, man. Why am I sharing this? Because this is what you see on all the traditional media. And this brings me back to this truth. Oh, Jay. Killing us. This is the crapola that's really happening. But the two people on the right walking down the stairs is what everybody thinks. That is logistics. And oh my God, you guys are still doing this dumb show? Oh my God. When will you stop? Please just go away. And we're also on all those places. We're going to say fraud is the biggest problem. I mean, yeah, it's a big problem, but it's not the biggest problem. Even Super Dispatch is trying to point out that it's the dollars that really matter to the carrier. Yeah, the shippers, you know who's worried about fraud? Everybody who's, checking their stock this morning to make sure they didn't lose $1 billion on tariffs. The rest of the world that puts their dirty boots on one at a time, they're worried about the dollars. But you know what? There's no money in dirty boots and one at... We want Jeff Bezos, right? I saw this. I should have shared it. I saw the richest person by state in America. Wow, that was weird. There were people in there, I didn't know. Like, Brad Paisley's the richest guy in Tennessee. Okay. Macklemore's the richest guy in in Washington State. It was really weird. I'll try to find it for you. Meanwhile, in the rest of the world, hiring is slowing. Job seekers are feeling it. This January, job confidence hit plus 20. I don't know that scale. Already down 11 points year over year from 31. Has since tumbled to plus 10. So even though those are pluses, and that sounds awesome, it's not. Microsoft is laying off 6,000 employees everywhere you look. I mean, there's layoffs. It's terrible. But you know what? Who cares? They're business professionals. They got this. Okay. So, More feedback. I want to see, this guy says, I want to see more companies using Super. The other guys have become a breeding ground for scammers. It's interesting, ironic. I stopped using them because they do not vet or remove inactive brokers, continue to allow scammers to operate as long as they are paying. Huh. I thought only these two bang hangs on TV talked like that. I left him because the cost and terrible service. As a professional owner of 22 years, wow, he's got a lot to say.
Yeah.
You want to read it?
Yeah, you want me to read it?
Yeah, please.
Okay. First of all, as a professional owner operator of 22 years of a 9-car carrier, it is my opinion Central Dispatch had done more harm to our part of the industry than good. Central Dispatch is nothing more than a lead board loaded with dishonest brokers, some operating out of the country. When addressing my issues with Central Dispatch, the reply is they have no mechanism in place to deal with the riffraff that plagues their lead. Okay, board form. One vehicle being listed 4 to 5 times by different brokers to vehicles that are listed but not able to be dispatched due to that post being nothing more than a lead. Central Dispatch seems to be doing everything they can to track a vehicle as if it was a package on a UPS truck. This in itself is a joke. Central Dispatch has a fairy tale rating system, which also is a joke. One thing CD does have is a mechanism is raising their prices for the subscription. Yep. My advice to CD and any load board is to have an experienced transporter, one who knows auction protocols, one that knows what it takes to transport a vehicle successfully from point A to point B as a consultant. Ding, ding, ding. Okay. As far as all these unnecessary features, they're ridiculous. Just a way to complicate the transport process and justify raising prices. Remember, we're car haulers. If we wanted to work in an office setting, we would have went down a different path. Constantly trying to reinvent the wheel is complicating the industry. As for Super Dispatch, they are currently a very respectable load board, which in time will be the superior load board. Super Dispatch seems to have a much better understanding of the industry and is far less stressful to deal with. 9 out of 10 times when booking a vehicle, it's a smooth process. When on Central, 9 out of 10 times the process is non-existent. My advice, keep it simple, manage all parties properly, and put people in place that know the industry, not computer programmers. Have a nice day. I think I said something similar to that.
And that's what's interesting. Everybody's saying some of the same things. Like,
I've been saying that for a while.
And I know this is the painful part, is that a lot of people want to pretend that me and you are somehow just sour grapes. It's everybody feels this way. Here's another guy. You did a great job on the last one. Will you read this one?
Okay.
Yeah, please.
Thanks for the opportunity to listen to us. As a carrier since 2017, I have experienced the following from CD/brokers. I am focusing on the rates here, which translates to carrier income before expenses. Number one, low rates don't help recover immediate expenses for fuel, forcing us to put our fuel payment up front. Fuel prices are high, as is the use of credit cards makes it worse sided with other essential carrier costs. Number two, traditional and reasonable broker fees should be limited to 10 to 20%. But notice that in addition to Uncle Sam's taxes, brokers also come in as partners by making as much as 50% of what they may collect from their customers, leaving very little room for carriers to make enough money to sustain business and its related expenses. Number three, keep in mind that truck and trailer maintenance high ongoing costs may and can force carriers to delay maintenance, which can easily affect and jeopardize safety on the roads for all people on the roads. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Oh, reducing prices to carriers doesn't help the carriers.
Oh, wait, no. And so now
sorry,
you're up at the top. Yeah, you're
I see what you did. Okay.
Big broker names. Yeah.
Number 4, big brokers' names as a pattern notice try to control pricing on the boards to force prices down to maximize their commissions, while carriers bear all and any responsibility, making it unfair. This is especially true that carriers do all the work and have to cover all costs of operation in the transport business, i.e. high insurance costs, immediate fuel costs, maintenance, and much more. While total broker costs are really considered a small fraction of the total pie, you know this very well, CD should look into a breakdown of capital and financial requirements to have a better understanding of the true picture. Number 5, if a carrier accepts a low price and commits to a specific job, they can cancel the job the second they find something else with better pay, making it inefficient time frame and delay for end users to receive their vehicles. Number 6, brokers' customers suffer from the delay of receiving their vehicles in many instances due to broker greed. Broker tactics, including paying reasonable rates in the beginning to access brokers for multiple lanes and then reduce prices afterwards, and have no respect to a reasonable time frame to get their vehicles. Number 7, when volume is down, brokers insist on delaying assigning loss until they get the lowest prices to maximize their returns in the process of the cost of carriers' responsibilities. Reducing prices to carriers doesn't help the carriers that do all the work and bear all the responsibilities and eventually forces carriers out of the business, and therefore makes it super hard for carriers to stay in the business. I am seriously considering leaving the business after I satisfy some financial obligations related to the business, and as soon as my son graduates college, I plan to get out. And I hear that a lot too.
Oh man, the number of carriers that want to get out.
Right. But they've got so much wrapped into it. It's
well, they do.
Yeah, it's hard.
So it's not only are they caught in it, and yeah, and then the prices keep going up.
Yep.
It gets harder. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah. It's a vicious cycle.
It unbelievable. That's why we really don't understand in Camera One. If you are researching and thinking of getting into car hauling, what do you think of that idea? Would you do that?
Yeah, no.
I mean,
you'd I mean, I don't want to say it like this, but you'd have to make sure you have a lot of income put away to start. Right. And who has that, right?
That's not how it works.
No.
Yeah, no. Man.
Equipment is expensive. Insurance is outrageous.
Outrageous.
And that's probably from all the fraud. I guarantee.
And it's been outrageous forever. It's going to keep getting more outrageous.
It's getting crazy because, like I said, one of my drivers had, he paid, I think it was like $24,000 last year. He's had no claims, not even been shut down or anything, and they wanted to raise it up to $40,000.
Okay, here we go. Final segment of the show. Final segment of our final show. This is it. We're done after this. No, it's okay. All right, here we go.
Don't throw me with a good time, Jay. Okay, anyway.
All right. This is a list.
Yep.
Of main issues with a load board.
Yeah.
You can't repost without losing credits.
Yep.
What does that mean?
So, okay, for example, if you pay for 50 loads, okay, say they cancel or they decline the load, you lose that. You just had one load, or say you had 50, now you have 49, and now you're going to have 48. So, and it's with that, it's also like, for example, we had an instance where we had a 2-pack and the second car, they couldn't locate, but they took the one car. So that load should have gone back into what I call the kitty of 50 loads. It did not. We lost that load. And it's not fair. I mean, if you pay for a certain amount of loads, you should get every single one of those loads. And that's not how it works. And
so
I think it's ridiculous.
You're putting your quarters into the arcade machine.
Yeah.
And there's an error, but you don't get your quarter back.
Right. Like when you go get a soda and they didn't give you your soda.
And you can't even go ask the guy that works the arcade.
Yeah, because he's like,
he's going to say, yeah, well, you know what?
We don't own it.
That's how it works.
Yeah. And then it's
same thing with the prices. Have you tried to ask people about why can you get, hey, can I get my quarter back?
Yeah.
Nothing?
No.
I thought you had somebody talking to you. What happens when you ask him? Nothing?
Still nothing. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I wonder if that's listed on the list of great stuff.
Sorry again. Say that.
More lost quarters. Okay. Price increase to $400 to 300 listings. Okay, so as a broker, these are your tiers.
Yes.
These are your options.
Yes.
You can list 10 vehicles a month for $100. What? 10
Yeah.
vehicle,
10
10
vehicles.
vehicles
Yeah.
for $140?
Yeah.
Holy crap. No
Yeah.
wonder you got to keep half of the money of the shipper pay.
Yeah.
Is this why brokers are gouging carriers' eyes out?
I don't think
This
that's
isn't
good,
why, is
but
it?
it
Why
doesn't
is that?
help.
Because
I
people are
don't know.
greedy?
They always have. Yes. I mean, brokers are greedy.
Sales guys will keep as much as they
Yes,
can.
that too.
And
Yeah.
their managers will keep as much of that as they can.
Well, and
Everybody wants a golden umbrella boat.
if you think of, I mean, I hate to say it like this, but brokers are almost salespeople. I mean, that's
Yeah.
in a way, you know what I mean? It's like selling a car.
Have you spent time with any like big time brokers? Have you ever had meetings or dinner or
No,
anything?
no, but you
They're
have.
different. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
They don't live one dirty boot at a time.
Right.
They don't.
Right.
No. They've got Italian loafers and they go to
Well,
every
and see, that's
game they
the
want to
thing.
go to, and yeah,
Not having
they have a
somebody
good.
who really does this, and not just a carrier to talk to, but a broker to talk to. They need people that they actually listen to. But I mean, it doesn't do any good. I talk about it all the time.
No.
Nothing's
No,
changing.
nobody gives a shit.
No, it's all about
No,
money.
this is, and us talking about it is just pissing people off.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
nobody's coming to help. The fire will rage.
Yeah.
How about this? Ratings went from 45 days to 14 days.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
So, you know how they'd moved them to 45 days. And the reason why they had moved them to 45 days is like I explained to them as well, is that
'Cause you
there's
need
some
time.
people that pay 30 days out. So how are
Yeah.
you supposed to give that person a negative if they're a 30-day pay and then they don't pay you, right?
So now you've only got 14 days
Yeah.
to give a
And so
rating.
if you take a 30-day load, and so some of the fraudulent brokers out there do
That is
the
so
30-day,
kick-ass.
right? And then you're screwed. You're
That
done.
is so like Hunter Biden, Kash Patel, Putin stuff. Like,
Yeah.
what? Well, you only have 5 days. Okay, that was
Well,
my.
and here's the thing. You know how they put their notifications
Awesome,
when you
man.
first
It's
turn
fucking
on
brilliant.
your
Good job, you
page
guys.
for the day? I don't know about everybody else, but my page is already up. As soon as I walk in, turn on my computer, my page is up. I'm not going in and out of my account. And that's where they used to put the notifications. I don't know if they notified anybody. We
Oh,
don't get
yeah,
emails
right.
anymore
Well,
unless
hey,
they
you
want to
know,
sell us more stuff.
Caveat emptor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good
So,
luck with that. Don't let the door hit you.
well, that, and I forgot to put that on there too about the fact of the ratings and stuff like that. I mean, honestly, I don't know if it makes any difference anymore, anyways. But that's
No, it doesn't. No, you know what? And you never see that. You never see it. Yeah, ratings are. And oh, the guy said it. Here, look.
yeah, the ratings are. A
He
joke.
said ratings are a joke.
Yep. Yeah.
Has a fairy tale rating system.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. And it doesn't help you if that broker takes off with your money and they're no longer on Central. What good
And-
is the rating, anyways?
Really, if we had time to talk to every carrier, we would get feedback like this.
Yeah.
They all feel the same way. All
Yeah.
15,000 of them. That's another thing, man. Oh my God. Let me tell you. You know, there are times where I'll have to try to, like, not vomit in our mouth. Mine is when I see big fat cat Italian loaf or golden umbrella broker companies bragging about all the carriers they have. Oh,
Yeah.
I just almost chunked in
That-
my mouth. That's stupid.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Because you have 15,000 angry, ready to riot, rage against the machine carriers.
And that's why they won't accept any
That's
new
what you
carriers,
got. Yeah.
right?
Exactly. Not saving information from loads.
Oh God, that's one of my most.
What's up there? You mean they can't fix? What is that? A bug they just can't fix?
Or they just didn't think it was important. I don't
It's like
know.
Y2K. Where did it come from?
Yeah, I mean, you cannot save your current, like, so when you post a
Stupid.
load, you'll always be able to save the pickup and the delivery. Okay. So you can no longer do that. And usually these are, when I list cars, they're usually like a customer I'm going to come back to. And so I want their information saved on there. So when I go repost, all I have to do is type in, say Mannheim, whatever it is. And not only that, not only does it not do that, but so when they did their new system and changed kind of the format, I don't know if anybody else notices, but the phone numbers are all whacked out. So you always have to make sure the phone numbers are all typed back in. And guess what? You still can't save it. So every time you go back there, you have to type it in all over again.
Well, when
Stupid.
we fix it, we're gonna have to charge for that.
Well, what are we paying for? Because that should be all correct, right? That's what we were paying for
Well, you're
before. It
paying.
was
Hey,
less
listen,
money.
you're
Now we're
paying for
paying
the
more
number
money.
one load board, and anybody that tries to compete
Yeah. It's that's just yeah.
is gonna get it. Okay, account hacking is still a big problem.
It is. They say it isn't. I like I said, I had someone try to steal a Rolls
This is,
Royce just last week, and the transporter called us right away and said my account got hacked.
you know, and by I want to say something. Now, I'm usually pretty fair, but I just went over the deep end. I realized there are on the lawsuit there was a lot of legal
Jargon.
legitimate arguments.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna weigh in now and say I think the other guys probably took it too far with what
They're
they
better, or
were.
they're whatever. Yeah.
Well, promote everybody brags promotionally and
Right.
fucking lies on the internet.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
There I said it. But
Right.
but connecting your tech to someone else's tech is a violation of tech,
Right.
user agreement, whatever.
Right.
And this is where actually the other technology companies, they know they have to, like, there were a lot of companies connecting their tech
Right.
and in different ways,
Right.
sniffers and all that crap, and the tech guys know the words. And they had to disconnect. You have to disconnect the tech. You can't. That was one of the things I used to always say. How are you going to have a button? I go to their load board, and there's a button I can click
Yeah.
inside their load board.
Yeah.
I remember saying, I don't get it. How? Like, you can't go to McDonald's. I love the McDonald's analogy. You can't go to McDonald's and you're in line and there's a buy a Burger King burger button. Like, what? Like, that would be whacked. And I would like it because sometimes I want a Whopper. Have you had the Impossible Whopper? It's pretty good. But it still doesn't mean it makes any sense that I can buy an Impossible Whopper while I'm at McDonald's. And I feel like Burger King should have known better. Like, what? So on this singular point, I agree with that allegation. And to me, that allegation is what opens the door
To
to
everything else.
all the other stuff.
Yeah.
Some of which is okay. If you have to cancel the load, you lose all the loads. That was the are they trying to put the little guys out of business so that Reddy can take over? Damn.
That's what it feels like.
There's nothing like seeing the Illuminati in action, right? It's like spotting Jay-Z with his Baphomet. I can't believe I came up with that. So in summation, I know if you're still with us, it's painful. Painful show. Rates are garbage. We're going to be out of business. I left them because of the cost and the service. One thing they do have is a mechanism for raising their rates. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I want to see more companies using Super. It all sucks. I'm quitting soon. Low rates, flags. In my opinion, they've done more harm. That comment, I think that's a really straightforward. I think there are over 10,000 Rage Against the Machine carriers that would agree with that 100%. It is 15 years ago. It was a helpful list.
Mhm.
Now
No.
it's kind of out of control.
No. I remember the day when you used to be able to call them and they actually spoke to you. They even taught me how to file against a broker bond. But
Wow.
yeah. I mean, that's
Those days are
15,
gone.
20 years ago. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it before the very let's reminisce. Let's remember the good times.
Yeah.
In 2010, now 2 years before I joined, but I get the feeling that because, and let's do this, the thing was invented in 1999 because a guy had trouble moving a car. And in 1999, it was all phone books and beepers and crap.
Yeah.
Gets bought, dealer track, Cox Automotive, blah, blah, blah. 2010 rolls around. This is before any of those new updates. Remember when the new updates
Yeah.
started to feel like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
That was like 2015. But in the good old days, in 2010, when you could make a buck in car hauling, and it wasn't new, whatever, they answered the phone. Man, the good old days. Back before the Taliban and all that. I don't ship cars and move information, allegedly. I think we covered it, and we did it in an hour.
Cool.
Before we go, and I know, like, there's nobody in the chat. There is no money in agreeing with us, taking the time to share your beef. There is no money in that. Nobody's going to agree with you. Shippers don't know what's going on, and the ones that do, man, whatever.
Right. That's true.
Whatever. The trade shows don't want to know the truth. God, you're certainly not going to see it on LinkedIn, man. Talk about wow. You know how, like, when do you go on Facebook anymore?
Well, yeah, to shop.
All right.
That's
Okay.
about it.
Right, but it used to be everything. Remember the
Yeah.
days where Facebook was like everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, LinkedIn is about to experience it. I can see it. Nobody's doing anything on LinkedIn except sharing bullshit.
Oh,
It's stupid.
it's gone that route.
LinkedIn
I don't go
is
on
so
LinkedIn either,
stupid.
so.
Oh my god. I actually stopped scrolling because it was just pissing me off.
It was the same kind of crap, basically.
Oh my god. It was this dumb, stupid lie. Total bullshit.
Right.
Yeah, I'm awful. Yeah, I stopped. It's just irritating and so even somebody said, I'm seeing the death of social media. Yeah, I also believe that I said that if everybody starts a podcast, then there's no more audience. And I wonder if this idea that everybody needed like 5 podcasts has played a part into this social media death. I don't know where we go next. Do you spend time on TikTok? Do you like TikTok?
I'm not really on it, but
Okay.
I'm supposed to be for
Well-
the company.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, that's another thing. The days of the side hustle are here. We all have to side hustle now.
Yeah.
Kimberly spends a lot of time on TikTok, and I see, like, TikTok, I realize it's Chinese and all that stuff and Trump and whatever, blah, blah, who gives a crap.
Yeah.
But TikTok as a platform really is amazing. I think that, and if they need to do like a True Social Love America TikTok, like America First Talk or whatever, whatever. But I think that's the next place for people. And I don't know if they're engaging in community on TikTok. I suppose they are in like micro communities.
All right.
But yeah, Facebook, LinkedIn, that is the past. There's these bullshit communities,
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I agree.
and there is no money in talking about any of this. That's why nothing's going to change. So we just wasted an hour of our time. How do you feel about that? You feel good?
Well, it is what it is. We do that
And
every week.
if you tuned in, you just wasted an hour of your life. Like, you're never going to get that back. And I'm sorry. I apologize on behalf of Sue and I for wasting an hour of your life. But thanks for spending it with us.
Yeah.
We're like auto logistics information vampires. We're going to rename the show.
There you go.
Okay, and on that note, let's see here. Our next auto logistics information vampire show will be on... I have June 12th listed.
Okay.
We don't have a topic yet, We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I got you.
So maybe in 2 weeks, maybe not. I'm sure there's a boardroom full of folks right now hoping that this, please guys, make this your last. God. This was show 205. Allegedly a show, whatever you want to call this, graveyard shift. We will be back in 2 weeks for 206. We'll see you then. What do we say, office?
Goodbye, Sue.
Goodbye, Sue. Thanks so much. It was fun. We'll see you next time.
All right. See ya.
All right. Take care. Bye.